All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac here on the 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on Facebook, 1010XL's page, the Relevant app, always streaming live on the Relevant app, the broadcasting, podcasting group, chatting app. It's so easy to use. Check it out at the Apple Store or Google Play. I'm here in the 1010XL studios. This show brought to you by my friends at Microlumix. They invented a automatic germ-killing device called Germ Pass. And I tell you what, it's just getting off the ground, but phenomenal stuff, phenomenal technology, keeping you and your loved ones safe from transmission of viruses from surfaces. We'll be getting into that a little bit more. All right, a lot to get into. Jags. Jags going to jag. And they sure did. I mean, all year long, aside from the 2 wins against, I give them the 3 wins, every unit playing well. One, all together. Not one unit playing well, the other stinking it up. This guy looks good, this guy looks bad, just not putting it together. I don't, self-inflicted to me means like you're giving them an excuse. No, you're not doing your job is what that means. I mean, a self-inflicted wound. Cam Robinson going downfield on a pass play in the end zone. Is that a self-inflicted wound, or is that a lack of focus and not doing your job at a critical point in the game? I go for the latter. You want a trapdoor? Well, self-inflicted. No, it's not. You forget coverage. Guys are wide open as can be, and nobody around. That's not self-inflicted. That's somebody or multiple people not knowing what the bump they're doing out there. I know I speak for a lot of you fans. I mean, you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. It's so annoying. Look, I'll give you some silver lining. Yeah, and you heard it here first from me. Well, not first, but me saying it first. Our quarterback looked pretty damn good. Hey, I'll call it like I see it. Not everything was perfect, but, man, he put the ball in the right spots. I talk about ball placement all the time. He was on point for the majority of his throws, where that ball needs to go. I like that. Of course, that's a good thing, no doubt. You look at Mahomes makes it look easy. And, by the way, do they have a true number one?
A true number 1 wide receiver?
Yeah. Huh? What? How can they be so successful without a true number 1?
I mean, they did, obviously, with Tyreek Hill.
Of course, but they don't now. But 4 touchdowns.
But
easy. They're loaded with talent, don't get me wrong, but do they have a true number 1? No.
Kelsey, so it's like...
We got a tight end that's as athletic. We got 2 of them. Don't go to Arnold enough, in my opinion. Andre Sisco's another positive. Reminds me of a Doug Plank type safety back in the 70s and 80s of the Bears. Granted, he was spearing people, which you can't do anymore. But I love the tenacity. I love that. I'm trying to think of some other good players that, Kirk had a great game. I'm going to say a very good game. Make the catch on the first drive. Right in the numbers, man. I mean, come on, your coach puts his nuts on the line, calls for an onside kick, beginning of the game, and you drop a pass. It hits you in the 3. It did. It might have been a tiny bit. It hits you in the number. Gosh, damn, catch the damn rock. That's your job. That's not a self-inflicted wound. That's your job. You got to catch the damn ball. You don't know where that leads. Say 3, although Patterson, kickers, I don't talk about you much until you miss kicks. Job's to make the damn kick. Too inconsistent. Still, what was wrong with 21 of 24? With 4 from 50? The kid couldn't kick off. Who gives a crap? I mean, kick off. This is an undisciplined team. I'm just surprised because I don't believe Doug Peterson runs that kind of team. But think about it. Think about the dumb penalties. Think about the stupid throwing the quarterback down, headbutting the quarterback. You know, Cam going down the field. I mean, just 12 men on the field. Things happen during the year. I get it, but this just, I don't know, man. It's just. Defense stinks. They stink. They ran on you. They threw on you. They did whatever they wanted on you. Got no pass rush. What, 4 hits? By the way, pressures we got to define more clearly. Like, what? He's got to move a step over? Is that a pressure? Who cares? How about a hit? I want QB hits. That's all I care about. Hits and sacks. Pressure. Batted down balls. Fine. Throw that in. That's pressure. You coming next to him and him just moving over and making a completion is not pressure. And it doesn't mean anything. Pressures are overrated. They were all over us. They were all over us. O-line was bad. Scherf was bad. Taylor, Cam. It wasn't good. 5 sacks, 6 QB hits. I wrote down the stats. 7 of 10 on third down, the Chiefs were. 7 of 10. Can't win. Washington was at. They went 70% on third down in the first game. We're back to that. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. We were 4 of 14 on third down. That's terrible. Fourth down, same. We went one more time than them. Yards per attempt, they're at 9.5. They whipped it downfield. We're at 5.3. We did not. I don't really care. Make a couple catches, and we do. Gets a little better. They average 5.7 yards a carry. We average 4.7. The difference? They ran it 11 more times than us. Why wasn't ETN more involved? I know we get down. Okay, we come back. Devin Lloyd gets benched. Hey, man, you got to know what you're doing. And I question. I'm questioning how much of studying, how much film watching, how much really holding yourself accountable these players are doing, especially on defense. I'm telling you right now, nobody should be wide open. If it's man, that just means you got beat. And that happens, okay. If it's zone, that means you don't know what the hell you're doing. Now, there are holes. We always talk about the holes in zone, right? There are. But those holes are for split seconds. They're not gaping wide open. They're there for 5 minutes. Nobody should be wide open. Nobody. Gosh, I feel like it's deja vu again. Now I'm hearing this chat. Well, maybe we should run a 4-3. Like, maybe. I don't know. Let Devin Lloyd just rush. He's not a good thinker or whatever. I tell you what, I wasn't a fan of the clown movement. I thought that was very disrespectful. You fans do whatever you want. You're fans. You get to do whatever you want. As a former player, I wouldn't participate in that. I think it's disrespectful to the organization. That's just me as a former player. But Balky's, man, these picks, Trent, I don't know. Not good enough. Free agency, not good enough. I mean, you spent a lot of money on your defense. Where are they? Where are they? Just aggravation, man. Aggravation. Again, you can feel good that 16's getting better. And I'll flat out agree with that. Say that. No doubt. No doubt. And that's a good thing. Good thing for him to grow and get better. That's, you know what? Give us something to look forward to. I'll give you that. It's not through the roof incredible, but better. Every week. He's playing better. I like when he takes off and run. That what was that call? Third down with the quarterback. What was that? Like quarterback sweep? That was a stupid call. When they stuffed him right away. Remember, it was like I think he went to his left. Was it third down? Yeah, it was a third down call. I forget what part of the game, but I don't know. Not good. Not good, but, get the bye week. I'd work him. I'd give him the weekend off. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're getting after it. We are getting after it. We are going to make sure you know exactly what you're doing out there. In Devin Lloyd's defense, if there are things he's not good at, then play him somewhere else. He's got talent. He does. But play him somewhere else. Now I'm hearing, Trevon Walker's out of position. I mean, this is what happens when you don't perform. And you've let this team down all throughout the year. We've had leads that you've given up. What are we going to revamp the defense? You got to revamp some of the O-line now? I mean, you paying Jawan Taylor? I'm glad we waited. Not good enough, man. Not good enough. We got to see more. I think we got to see more of the tight end. We got to see more of Dan Arnold. We got to see more of Ingram. I don't know why we're not seeing ETN. You rushed him too many times last week. Is that it? Now, is that why? What? Sorry. Don't rush him 28. He should be about 20 touches a game, in my opinion. That's perfect. Split him up however you want. I don't know. I look at the rest of the schedule. You're not beating the Ravens. You got a shot at the Texans, although they usually beat you. So Graham's looking forward to the last game of the year. He thinks Tennessee will be had.
Incentive game.
Sweep them.
It's incentive day.
Maybe.
The Jaguars at home on incentive day. That's the lock of the year that the Jaguars win that game.
Have they played on the last game of the year down here before? Tennessee?
Yes.
They have?
The last time they did, if I'm not mistaken, was, you probably remember this game, Jalen Ramsey's rookie year. When Jalen Ramsey, 16, when Jalen Ramsey got the pick six in that game.
The defense was good that year in 16.
Remember Jalen got the pick six in that game, and they ran a trick play where Denard Robinson threw it to Blake Bortles for a touchdown? Do you remember that game?
I don't.
Beautiful weather, last game of the year, incentive day.
Huh. Were they leading the division going to the playoffs?
They were I think they were like a fringe wild card team.
Okay.
That was the couple of years. Did we knock
them out of the playoffs?
Yes.
We did.
Those were the couple of years where the Texans were leading the division.
Okay. With Watson.
But yeah, the Jags killed the Titans that day.
Okay, well maybe they get it done. I don't think they will. I think they get swept. I don't know. I think the Lions are going to give you trouble. I think the Jets are going to give you trouble. Dallas is going to give you trouble. And I'm telling you right now, I know Mahomes ripped us apart, but when you put on film that your defense doesn't really react the way you think they will when they get punched in the mouth, other teams are going to try it. That's what they're going to do. They'll be like, look, this team isn't very physical. We can push them around. I mean, think about it. Eagles push you around. Washington, the Giants, certain degree Washington, not totally. Giants push you around towards the second half in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs pushed you around. 5.7 yards a carry. I mean, crushed you. And the back was the kid from Rutgers. He was good. He had some good runs. It's not good, man. Just not good. I don't know what to tell you, Jag fans. Again, QB getting better, so I like that. I like that Doug saying maybe it's time to look at other people, too, to get more time. Hey, man. I don't know. Gosh, dang, all that money's guaranteed. The players like, oh, well, I tried. Not going to work out the way we all thought, but shucks. Shucks. Did you see that? By the way, did you see that podcast lately? I don't know how long ago it was, but it was with Blake Bortles and these two guys. And the one guy's like, hey, Blake, do you know how much money you made over your career? He's like, I don't know. I have an idea.
Oh, yeah. That was Pardon My Take.
Yeah. Was it
Barstool
Pardon My
guys?
Take?
Yeah.
Was it really? Oh, I
Blake
didn't know
comes
that.
on their show all the time.
When he said, suck it, nerds?
Yes.
That was so
Dude,
funny.
they are
47 million. Yeah, suck it, nerds.
They are so funny, man.
Classic.
When Blake comes
Blake's
on their
funny.
show, they have a segment they do every year.
Yeah.
They do it annually.
With
and
Blake?
they call it Blake of the Year.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen that.
They give an award to their favorite Blake in sports that year.
All right.
And there was one year that it was tied between Blake Bortles and Blake Griffin.
Okay.
So they weren't sure who to give it to. So they're like, we're just going to call both of them, and whoever answers wins. And Blake Griffin was like in the middle of practice for Team USA for the Olympics.
Oh, no kidding.
It's like he obviously didn't answer.
Yeah, Blake was out at the Ritz.
And Blake Bortles was like, he was like doing something like that. And Blake just answered the phone. They're like, congrats,
I've been right
Blake.
there with him for the record. For the record. But anyway, look, you couldn't get it done. You got the bye week. I'd work, Doug's going to do whatever he does. I tell him not to travel too far. Got to come back ready, man. Running the table. That's what I heard. Yeah, they got to run the table to make the play. They ain't running squat. Running to the bathroom is where they're running. My gosh, just not good. Not good. No excuse. No excuse. Self-inflicted. Nope. Just not doing your job. You're not a very good team when you don't do your job. No doubt about it. All right, a look around the league real quick. And then I'm going to finish with a tribute to the lovely Mrs. Judy Coughlin, who they laid to rest yesterday. Had a celebration of life ceremony yesterday. I'll tell you all about it. Jeff Saturday, 1-0, beats the Raiders. Derek Carr not happy. Jeff, I'll tell one thing. I like what I'm hearing from Jeff Saturday. And I want him to succeed. It's not fair. Well, sometimes things aren't fair. They just aren't. And you're not in the conversation with him and the owner. You're not sitting there listening to. Maybe he says someone to the owner's like, "Wow, man, maybe you should be my head coach." I don't know. You're not there. Calling it a disgrace, calling it this, calling it that. I mean, look, man. I know it is a grind for coaches. All of them. It's a grind. And when you first enter, some move up fast. Some don't want to go past their position coach or their coordinator job. They're good with that. I mean, look at Del Rio. It took him 6 years. Started off as a strength coach to a head coach in 6 years. He had a plan. He was ready to rock and roll. And he was a good D coordinator. Proved it. So, yeah. Did he pass up quality? Maybe. It's interim. We'll see. It doesn't mean he's there long term, but I like the way he's handled it. I like what he was asked about what he thought Cowher said. He said, "You know what? I only answer to God. I don't answer to anybody else. I'm going to do my best. I know I can lead men. Let the chips fall where they may." I like it. I don't like it when he's playing us, which he won't anymore this year. But I hope he does well. I hope he does well. What a game, Minnesota-Buffalo. Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. Can't believe Allen fumbled at the goal line for the loss, but that's just wild. Just wild. We saw Philly go down to Washington. No more undefeated season. Excuse me. Giants beat the Texans. G-Men. NFC, Eagles, Vikings, G-Men, top 3 teams right now. And you know what? The Vikings may be the top team. They may be. We'll see. Got more football left to be played. Titans beat up the Broncos. They're leading the division. They're going to win the division. I don't think we split. Who knows? You know what? I don't think we'll win the first game. I'll tell you that. I don't think we'll stop Derrick Henry. They'll get Tannehill back by then. Look, again, we got the Ravens next. They worry me. They're a physical team. They're going to get after us. Lamar Jackson, one of the best QBs in the game. Can he be rattled? Sure, everybody can be rattled, but the way this defense plays, who knows? Should you look at doing a 4-3? Maybe. Should you put Javon Walker down as a defensive end in a 4-3? Maybe. I don't know. At this point, do something. Look, when you play zone and you don't have pressure, it's over. It's over. And especially with crossing routes, because they're hard to pass off to one another. If you got man, you got man. It's different. You just take him. Take your man wherever he goes. But in zone, you got to pass off the ins and the outs, right? You have no pressure, and a quarterback can just sit there. It's completion. And then you got the playmakers on top of that. MVPs, Cisco, the kid, and Trev. Okay? Something to build on. I don't know. I told you I lowered the expectations a while back. I'm done with it. I want them to win. I'll pull for them to win. I hope that they win. But I have no confidence in this team at all. It's not even knowing how to win. It's just doing your gosh dang job. Like, come on. Like, you take the play, and I know this is a kind of a shoulda, woulda, coulda, but didn't, right? Okay, I'll admit to that. But think about this. Kirk makes that catch on third down. That was a good throw. You get the ball at the 10. Maybe it's 3. Let's just say conservatively it is. You got 2 missed field goals, right? Say he makes one of them, right? Now you're 6 points, minimum, maybe 10. And then you got Cam's penalty. Like, that's not doing your job. Like, what the heck? And Cam, and I'm sure it's killing Cam. I would hope it's killing him. You're our number one guy. You're we redid your deal. You're the guy. You're our left tackle, and you go downfield on a critical point. I mean, lack of focus, not knowing, not paying attention. I don't know, but those things can't happen. If you want to be a good team, they cannot happen. And then if you're sitting there telling me we have the wrong players, well then, gosh dang, here we go again. It's going to be, again, they're young, we're building. For the next 5 years. I don't know. I'm just aggravated. You know, it's such a damn shame. You get so pumped up. Hey, we're still going to party. We're still going to have fun. You know, we still have it's great to watch them play and be a part of it and all that. I'm all in on all of it. But it's got to be better. And I expect more out of a Doug Peterson team. I do. It's not all him. It's not players. I don't know if fans realize how much you have to study. I don't know. You do. You have to study a ton. A ton of it. If you don't, you're going to get lost. If you don't study tendencies, if you don't study the tendencies of individual players that you'll be playing against, what they like to do, how they like to run routes, how they block, how they come off in a run block, how they pass set, all that stuff, like all of it. And then on top of that, knowing the defense, knowing your responsibility, knowing the checks, knowing the changes in coverage, knowing all of that, every single bit of it on every single play, anything less is unacceptable. If you want to win and win consistently in this league. It's the only way. Yeah, talent, you got to have the talent. No doubt about it. But the talent that doesn't know what the hell they're doing out there doesn't do you any good at all. You become a liability. And once you become a liability, guess what happens? I'll give Doug that. Hey, Devin, sorry, buddy. Whatever's going on with you, we got to figure out. But we ain't figuring it out today. You go take a seat. Muma's in. I'll give him credit for that. Should have been done and was done.
Muma didn't look much better, but...
No, I'm not totally sold on him. He's growing up. He's an effort guy. Saying, he's an effort guy. You know, he's...
I get what you're saying, though. When a guy's not delivering, you need to try something else.
You have to. Well, or you're just, what are you doing? You're saying it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay then. It's not okay.
Particularly in the NFL, there's such a political game of like a first-round pick. You don't want to. I lived it.
I don't. You got it. Those guys get more opportunities than the others.
I totally agree with you that I like Doug being like, whether that's a Doug or Caldwell call, I don't know.
Who cares?
But whichever one, I totally agree with you that because that doesn't mean that Devin Lloyd's just going to ride the bench for forever.
No,
he's obviously going to go back.
It just means you are not knowing what's going on out there, and you're becoming a liability. And I got to sit your butt down.
And can that be a nice cup of coffee for Devin Lloyd?
Maybe.
Like, hey man.
Maybe.
You can't just sleep. You might be hitting a rookie wall, whatever. That's great. But
no,
you can't just sleepwalk through this, bro.
Rookie walls are when you get tired.
Yeah.
Your legs go, then your mind goes. Is he not in condition? I don't know. I don't want to hear that. Well, it's, Tom, this time last year they were in their 12th game, and I don't give a crap. He's in the NFL now. I don't believe in rookie walls. I don't remember Hardy having a rookie wall, or Beasley, or Tony Brackens. I remember them kicking butt all year long. That's all I remember. Anyway,
Well,
it's got to get better. That's at the end of the day. And look, is some of it the coaches? Yes, because if you have to simplify stuff for your better players, better quote unquote, more athletic, whatever, faster, can do more, fine. Then simplify it. Don't make it so damn complicated. But if they can't learn the defense, then they can't be out there. You just can't. Wide open guys cause touchdowns.
Did you hear what Coach Campo said about it the other day?
I did not.
Sunday
I
night?
love Coach Campo.
I thought what he said was really insightful. He basically was saying, and he would know, obviously, as a D coordinator, he was basically saying that early in the year, they played a decent amount of man because that's what Caldwell came from in Tampa under Bowles, and they played a bunch of man.
Then they get scared to get beat deep, so they play zone.
During training camp, that was a lot of their install. Was man principles, and they played a bunch of man.
Yep.
And particularly after that Colts game, when Shaq Griffin just got cooked all game, they realized we can't play this way effectively
because you get beat.
So they started playing zone much more often.
Yeah.
Well, their zone, they're not on the same page. That's why they're blowing coverages.
But zone is not rocket science.
Oh,
it's not, dude.
I don't disagree.
I'm telling you, all you got to do is count.
Right.
They can count. Every guy on that team can count to 3 or 4 if it's 4 to one side.
By the way, it's not
rocket science.
It's not like they didn't have these problems last week, too. They won, so we kind of forgave it.
I know. They've had them all year almost.
That second Devontae Adams touchdown?
Right.
Oh, my God.
Right.
You can't be less on the same page.
Right.
Like,
you look at the touchdown to Tony. He goes in motion and just goes out to the flat.
Yeah.
And nobody is there. Like, nobody? Like, who's the flat player? I am. Anyway, it's got to get better. Listen, I want to wrap up this show. We're going a little long today. Just a tribute to Mrs. Judy Coughlin, the wife of head coach Tom Coughlin. I've known the Coughlin family for such a long time, since 1991. I remember first meeting Mrs. Coughlin, just how jubilant she was and nice and sweet. I kept looking at Coach like, serious? Like, wow, opposites attract, I guess. I'm kidding, of course, but she was such a sweet, kind, loving lady, always caring about people, always smiling, always like looking good, gracious in her everything, and in the way she approached people. She was always open, always friendly, just incredible. And yesterday's service, her celebration of life service at St. Paul's Catholic Church, was absolutely incredible. The names that showed up, you would think it was the J Fund golf tournament. It was celebrity in the football world. A lot of Giants were there. Andy Reid was even there. He flew in. Him and Doug, I know, are buddies, so maybe flew
That's
back
awesome.
together. Spagnuolo was there. He used to coach for the Giants. A lot of Giants. Eli was there. They were in and out. It wasn't a big thing. I mean, we had the mass, and we went to a little reception. Got to say, our hellos and respects. My wife and I went to see Coach and Kelly and the entire family. So much love to them. They are forever embedded in the lore of Jacksonville. No one, you could have had a better first head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars for a startup franchise. Tom Coughlin was the perfect choice, and he proved it. And his wife Judy was one of the greatest first ladies this city has seen. So I know she's in heaven. She's earned her wings. I said that to Kelly. I said, well, she's earned her wings, Kelly. I asked her maybe she could put a word in for me, and I'll be able to strap those things on when it's my time. We'll see about that. But what a great day to celebrate a wonderful life of Mrs. Judy Coughlin. All right, that'll do it for me this time around. I'm catching up with Tommy Mack here on 1010XL's podcast platform, 1010XL.com, of course, on Facebook, 1010XL's Facebook page, and streaming live on the Relevant app. You can catch more Jag fans on the Jaguar Fanatics channel, and all your favorite teams represented, NBA, baseball, hockey, soccer, you name it, all represented on the Relevant app. It's RELEVNT, no A at the end. Find it on the Apple Store or Google Play. Until next time, stay safe and be cool out there. We'll see you right here, catching up with Tommy Mack. Peace.